What up? What's going on? It's Wednesday. We made it to Wednesday, y'all. It's hump. It's a hump day, and we got a lot to talk about. It is hump day, and we got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, are the Padres teasing us, right? Bleacher Report has released a ton of lists. I got to get to these lists. These lists are some of the lists are accurate. Some of the lists are debatable. That's what we're all here for, to debate this thing. And I want to talk about the Padres double play the Padres. I want to talk about the Dodgers double play last night to end the game, and why when people say it's luck, I'm going to tell you about dynasties and why luck is the illusion of the dynasty, right? So, as usual, I tell everybody when we start the show, we got to do a couple things. One, we got to encourage people to come to the John Browner podcast at gmail.com. If at any point you have something you want to say to the show or say on the show that you don't want to put in the chat, or you have a suggestion, or you want to just talk about something long form that's too big for the chat, right? Feel free to go to the John Browner podcast at gmail.com and drop all that information in there, man. Or if you have a complaint, drop that information in there too. That's what it's for. 2, as we continue to road to 500. We are on the road to 500, baby. We're getting there. We're getting subscribers. And as I ask that you continue to like, share, and subscribe to the show. Whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, or X, I ask that you subscribe to the show. And if you don't have time to subscribe to the show because it's a moving program, feel free to subscribe to the podcast over on iTunes, the John Browner Podcast on iTunes. There's also a merch shop. This hat is not available there. I'm going to try to fix that. But head over to the merch shop, the John Browner Podcast store on Shopify. So lots of shirts, lots of stuff over there. Get in there, buy some. I'd appreciate it. That's how we support the show, because none of this is free. My computer's blinking right now because it's telling me I got a storage issue, which I get this like once a month, and then I just got to delete everything. But it's every time. Well, listen. Do you have this computer problem too? I feel like an infomercial is about to break out. Every time every month, either Apple updates something, Chrome updates something, and so then everything starts to go chaos. Things start to not open. Things to start to open slowly. Things that used to work just fine stop working just fine. That's the quagmire I'm in now with the current computer that I have. I would like to get a new computer, a desktop computer. But I just got a brand new iPad a couple years ago. And that iPad is what crashed on me at the races. So I can't even use this particular software. I've emailed them about it. I can't even use this particular software to broadcast live because it drops Chrome when you're on an iPad or when you're on a cell phone. So there's so many things that are changing and forever doing something. It's really annoying. It's literally super, super annoying when you're trying to run a show. But as I say, we continue, we grind. Shout out to Raiders versus everyone. Shout out to Mexica. Shout out to Mexica. We are early in the chat pack, so we'll get there. But on the show, I've already talked to you guys about what I want was going to be on the show today. I talked to you guys about shopping at the shop. I talked to you guys about the email. I talked to you guys about subscribing. Let's get to what I want to talk about today. Let's get to what the show is going to be about. The TEASE. So yesterday, as true to formula that I discussed yesterday on the show, I said the Padres, the formula for where the Padres season has gone. In a 3-game series, they'll lose one game close, 7-8, 6-5, 4-3, 2-1, whatever the case may be. They'll win a game where they basically blow the other team out of the water. That was yesterday. And then they'll lose one game by some absurd number. 10-0, 7-1, 6-0. They lead the league in most games without scoring a run. So you go let that figure, whatever it is. Yesterday, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado hit 2 home runs. I think Jackson Merrill hit a home run. The Padres' power was on display yesterday against Atlanta, who somehow magically Atlanta is a very good baseball team, but the Padres have a lot of success against Atlanta's pitching, whether it be in Petco or apparently whether it be in Atlanta. So take that for whatever you want to take it for. But the display of power yesterday, Tatis is now, hitting home runs. It appears to be around a rate of once a week. The home run he hit yesterday, I think it was like 451 feet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they have the distance on these home runs, but yesterday Fernando Tatis Jr. hit the longest home run of the year. Like that ball was hit so far, they're going to steroid test him today. Like 473. Thank you, B. Tom. The home run was hit so far, you didn't even know, the cameraman didn't even know where to look. So where has this been for him? Because again, he's played the best of all the everyday players. He's been their best player so far this year outside of Mason Miller, who can only perform when he's given a chance. Fernando Tatis Jr. has had quote unquote power all season. The power has just never been elevated. There was articles written earlier in the season when he had 0 home runs that he was hitting the ball harder than anyone else in Major League Baseball. It just wasn't in the air. Last night was one of those balls that caught air that literally felt like it is still going. Like I said, he hit that home run so far, he's going to get drug tested today. That thing was a bomb. So the offensive output yesterday leaves me asking this question. Is it too late? Not for Tatis, because again, he's played well. Manny's 2 home runs. Merrill's home run. Is it too late for whatever we want to describe this as a power surge or however, whatever we're calling this? Whatever this is it too late? Because I think it is. I think it is because if you go to the standings, and if you go to the wild card standings, they're still behind one. Let's not count those. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're still 2 games behind 4 teams. Just an absolute bomb. So as I'm watching this, as I'm seeing, because I don't watch a lot of games this year, because I just, they don't give effort. So why should I, make it an appointment to watch this ball? And I keep talking about this particular ball because these are the type of home runs that people were expecting from him. To now be getting them now, and to be getting the home runs as frequent as you're getting them now. Remember, he didn't have a home run for months and people were freaking out. People stopped paying attention to the other things he was doing that made him a MVP conversation type of talent, not season talent. They were overlooking all the other stuff because he didn't hit home runs. Now you find yourself, he's hitting bombs. He's clearing the wall now. Manny's 2 home runs. I said this before. Manny's now at 202. If Manny's going to if Manny's going to hit in the low 200s, the power has to be there. You've got to swing for the fence, man. Same thing for Xander Bogaerts, who's really just more of a traditional hitter. And by the way, he was hitting 8th yesterday. He was hitting 8th. I don't want to say you'd be better off not playing him because of the money that you owe him, but he's hitting 8th. Is what we saw yesterday a tease? Is it a Tatis? Because I believe it is. Graham asked a funny question of, let's see how many runs they score today. 1, 0 probably. Somewhere in this, because I tell you, the formula exists. I've given you guys the formula on how the series tends to go for the Padres. They've already had the loss at a low-scoring game, 3-2. They did that. They had the offensive outburst yesterday, and today they're going to get smashed 15-1 or 11-2. They have a pattern in which the season has gone. Now, they've been very good against Atlanta. So maybe today you might see more. They might be 11-2 over Atlanta. And Atlanta may be happy for them to just, get the hell out of town. But when you're watching what is happening with the Padres this season, yesterday's game has happened a couple of times this year. And every time that game happens, we all as observers, some of us as fans, some of us who cover the team, we all have the same reaction. Is it now? Is it going to start happening now? That has been the question every single time. Is now the time? Will we now see the Padres make this crazy run where they, rattle off all these games, where they start scoring points, or the bats get hot? They're only 2 games out of the wild card. These conversations that you now have to have about whether or not they're going to be successful in the season, you get teased by games like last night. Again, Atlanta's a good team. Atlanta's got great foundation. They got great pitching, great organization. Somehow the Padres played great against them. So that's what gives you the hope. That's why you're looking at the Padres playing Atlanta and you're going, well, if this happens and this happens and this happens, they're 58-42. That's a good baseball team. And the Padres seem to demolish them. And only them. So it keeps me looking around going, so what's the problem? If you can only do, let me try to count this, because this is the one thing I forgot to do today. Let me try to count this. So they beat the Royals 19-2 after losing 6-1 and 7-6. They beat the Blue Jays 8-7 after losing 5-3. They beat the Diamondbacks 10-4 and then lost 3-1 after losing 8-0. They beat the Dodgers 5-2 after losing 12-7. Like they beat the Dodgers 7-1, then lost 15-3. And if we're going way back to the last time they played the Braves at Petco, they won 7-6, 1-0, and 5-2. That's literally the formula. Like that's how these games have gone. So I wasn't surprised by yesterday. I pretty much told you yesterday was going to happen. I just don't know in what order it's going to happen. But what are those 3 things that are going to happen? They're going to lose a low-scoring close game. There's going to be a game where they don't score at all. And there's going to be a game where they absolutely blow the roof off the other team. You got the first one already. Now you've gotten the second one. Now let's see the one when they don't score, which feels like it's going to be today. Last night was good to see. I don't know any other way to put that. Last night was very good to see. If you're a San Diego Padre fan, if you're an observer, if you cover them, if you talk about them, last night was the tease. But you want to see that there at some point, because even the person who is the most negative about the season, you can still look at the wild card, and that's why the wild card standing was created. You can still look at the wild card standing and go, still got a chance. If they wake up and if this happens and if this happens, if they trade for so-and-so, but they're not trading for anybody. They're not trading for anybody. We don't even know the situation with the owner. We're damn near, the summer's almost over. I was told by Major League Baseball this transaction would be in the clear by the end of the summer. We're literally almost at the end of the summer, and this is still, swinging in the wind. Do I believe it'll get through? Yeah, I believe it'll get through. I've never seen a purchase take this long. What they vetting? What are they waiting to vote on? Is it because it's 2 minorities? I don't know. I don't know what's taking Major League Baseball to approve this. They know they're heading for a strike next year. They know that there's a collective bargaining agreement that's going to be thrown in the mix next year. So you want to get that new owner money in and circulated. What's taking so long? I'm just I these are questions you all have. Not that you voiced them to me, but you've thought these things, right? I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one going, what's taking so long for them to approve this? Are they afraid of these new owners? What are they seeing in these new owners that they're stringing this along? Because this feels like it's being strung along to the point where they're going to find a reason to not let it happen. This feels weird. Either you got the money or you don't. And it appears they have the money. Is baseball not taking their money? Which I find to be crazy because the team sold for pretty much $3 billion. I guarantee you, I guarantee you the people who currently own the Padres are like, yo, what's the deal? Affy, I don't think this is. I don't think this would be the reason. Affy says I hear it's because he's a majority investor in Fanatics and Tops. That ain't what would that have to do with it? How would that hurt anything? What, they going to give the Padres more baseball cards? Like, nah, bro. Nah, bro. There's more to this. There's more to this, and I don't like it. You have someone who has put the bid in to purchase the team. The team clearly feels as if something's hovering around it. It's this. I wouldn't say it's a distraction per se, but it feels like there is something up in the air about this team that no one can just put their arms around. You have traditional guys playing way under their traditional numbers. Jackson Merrill, down year. Jake Cronenworth, I guess he's just down, period. But the year that the Padres have had, the inexcusable level of bats being just dormant. This feels like there's something in the mix. I look at this, and it just begs me to question if they purchased the team, if they put the bid in, and Major League Baseball accepted the bid. This is a conference call. You don't need everybody in the room eyeball to eyeball going, yay, yay, nay, yay, yay, I, present. You don't need, these people are rich. They got other stuff to do. This is a conference call. What's the holdup? Now, Affy says it's a conflict of interest because of Fanatics and Tops. I can almost guarantee you, because so many people own these teams, I can guarantee you there's a similar conflict of interest somewhere in the Dodgers organization. I can guarantee you there's a conflict of interest in many organizations when it comes to their personal business mixing with the professional athlete, the professional aspect of the teams that they own. I don't think that conflict of interest, crosses. If they own the umpires union or something crazy like that, yeah, slow down there. You're gonna have to divest that. Like, there's certain things that if you owned, I wouldn't want you owning the team. If you owned the science behind the balls and strikes, you got to divest that. You got to put that in a blind trust as long as you own the team, or you got to sell that. So that's been an issue for this team all season. That plays into the tease element of this. What's the whole? You teased us with the owner. You teased us with these awesome two new owners, two minority owners, a husband and wife, apparently deep in money, deep in philanthropy, people who appear to be able to impact the community on a grassroots level while also financially being able to support your current roster. What's the holdup? If I'm Major League Baseball, don't I want more minority owners? Don't I want more women with a voice in the sport? Don't I want more minority men owning teams that is primarily played by minority athletes? Isn't that what I want? If I'm Major League Baseball, isn't this the poster child for what I want going forward? What's the huh? But as I watch this team, maybe you're right, Affy. Maybe you are right. Maybe we need to relook at how I said this a while ago. You need to reimagine how you see Fernando Tatis Jr. when those home runs went dry. You need to reimagine how you take in his play as a baseball player. You may have to do the same thing for Jackson Merrill. There are very high hopes for Jackson Merrill. Defensively, Jackson Merrill has held up. Defensively isn't the issue. Defensively has never been the issue for Jackson Merrill. It's just not. I think the issue at this point for Jackson Merrill is 1,000% confidence. I don't think it's injuries. I think the idea about it being injuries. I think he's fine. Guy just came off an All-Star break. He's hitting home runs. He seems to be back in the swing of things. I think that we have put ourselves in a position because the season has been so bad that we are looking for any inch of hope to make this thing pull forward. And about once every other week, they give you what they gave you yesterday. Every now and then, just to keep you on the hook, they give you what they gave you yesterday. Utter power surge. I mean, like I said, every once in a while, they give you yesterday's game. That just pulls you right back in. Again, Tatis hit a bomb. Manny, double bomb. They beat another good team. So as I watched this and I watched this tease of an effort yesterday, I just hope that it continued. That effort continue. Graham, a lot of them are swinging at pitches out of the zone. A lot of them are doing that. That's literally Manny's MO. That I've seen more bat swings from Manny Machado this year. And the year's not even over with. I've seen enough bat swings from Manny Machado to tell you that Tony Gwynn's never had that many bat swings in his life. Some of these swings that Manny has taken this year, I can guarantee you Tony Gwynn doesn't have a single one of those in the entirety of his career. So everybody's swinging at everything. I think that's just the way baseball's played now. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Mexico says that I heard something along I heard something all those okay. Wow. I heard something. I think he meant to say, or she meant to say, I heard something along those lines too, Affy, the Fanatics issue. Okay. So let me just address that, okay? If the issue is their partnership with Fanatics or their ownership amount in Fanatics, they wouldn't have gotten to the point to purchase the team. See, when they're vetting you, these things get taken care of way before we hear about who wants to buy the team. You good, bro? You hear about these things way before you get a chance to purchase the team. That if there is a financial confliction at any point in there, at any point, if there is a financial confliction, that gets taken care of way before they say, okay, we'll give you $3 billion for it. That's it. That's it. So I don't believe that there are any financial now if they are saying that, then there tells me they have an issue with the people trying to purchase the team, and that goes back to what I was saying before. Are you trying to keep them out, or are you trying to stretch this as long as you can to find something wrong with this ownership group so that you can now get off the two people who are the head of this group? Because as baseball, you see this and you go, I don't know about this. Because she's going to own as much of the team as he is. Is this one of those conversations? I would hope not, because all money is green. Like I tell people all the time, in this country, we don't have a race issue. We have a class issue. There are black people and white people, Mexican people, Asian people, Filipino people, you Indians, all poor. They're all shades of color, shit poor. This country has a class issue. We have a haves and have-nots issue. The middle class is pretty much gone. The middle class in America is pretty much evaporated. So this isn't about color. I think this is about haves and have-nots. So I would hope that this issue of them getting approved has nothing to do with that. Because they got the money. All money spends. All money, they say all money ain't good money. Shit, yes it is. Yes, it is. That's me. That's just what I apply to. All money spends. They don't spend it with you, they go spend it with somebody else. So if you offer a service that they need, take that money. Take that money. The moral high ground is lonely. What up, Aztec? The moral high ground is lonely. You know, I'm just a messenger. As always, man, like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm John Brown. This is the John Brown Podcast. We do this here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. till about 11 or whenever, I feel like we've covered enough topics. You can always feel free to jump in the chat pack and share your thoughts. Let's hit some of these. Super says, stop it. Tony also doesn't have the slug swing that Manny ever had. Well, yeah, that's true. And nobody's arguing that, ever. Two totally different kind of players. What did Tony carry the Padres with the slap hitting? Soup. Bro. What I'm saying is, Manny's swings have been embarrassing. You know this to be true. I compared it as to say, he's had more bad swings this season alone than Tony Gwynn's had in his career. Some of Manny Machado's at-bats are atrocious this season. You know that. So this idea that, where did Tony Gwynn take them with the slap swings? Where has Manny taken them with the shit swings? And I also said that's the way baseball is played these days. So, welcome. Now, the next topic I want to hit. Oh, wait, I said I would hit some of these. Okay. Let me see. Mexica says, well, okay, we talked about that already. This is Soup's argument about Manny hitting 220. Okay. Uh, Affy, I'm with you. Manny sucks this year. You know, we got to take it up with Soup, but I think Manny sucks. I'm with you, Affy. Graham says he needs better plate discipline. Swings too many pitches out of his zone. Yeah, and that's what started the snowball. This is why Soup freaked out. Mexico says MLB owners, one or several, have an issue with the new ownership. I believe you. There's no reason. What up, Tito? There's no reason for this. There's no reason for this to have taken this long. There's no reason. There's absolute no reason for this to have for this approval of the sale has taken so long. Well, Graham says, again, because we talking to the chat pack, Graham says, I was talking about Merrill in that comment. Yeah, but that applies to Manny. I think that applies more to Manny than it applies to Merrill. They Brown. All right, like I said, we're here Monday through Friday. I'm John Brown. This is the John Browner Podcast. You can always message me on socials at the John Browner Podcast. You can email the show at johnbrownerpodcast@gmail.com. I want to move on to something else. So, Bleacher Report comes out with these lists, right? I'll share my screen with you so you can see some of the things about these lists. If my, again, like I said, my computer is giving me a lot of problems today. So, okay, there it is. So this is the BR's list of, this is their top 11, because I wanted you to see Shaq. This is their top 11 dunkers of all time. The dunkers, okay? Shaquille O'Neal, Clyde Drexler, Jason Richardson, Aaron Gordon, LeBron James is 7th, Sean Kemp is 6th, Blake Griffin 5th, Dominique Wilkins 4, Dr. J 3, Michael Jordan number 2, and Vince Carter number 1. Can we agree that that's a healthy list? I have zero problems with Vince Carter being the number 1 dunker of all time. I legit have no issue with that whatsoever. None. Zero. But they have another list. Okay? This next list is best shooters of all time. And I'm going to get to the list that pissed me off. This is their list of the top 10 shooters. I won't go through all 99 because that's ridiculous. This is their top 10 list of greatest shooters of all time. Kyle Korver, Dame Lillard at 9, Dirk Nowitzki at 8, Steve Nash at 7, Larry Bird at 6, Klay Thompson at 5, which I will get back to, Kevin Durant at 4, Ray Allen at 3, Reggie Miller at 2, and, there's no need to argue about who's number 1. My issue with this list in particular is Klay Thompson is number 2. Klay Thompson is number 2. And if you look on this list, Reggie Miller shot 39% from 3. Klay Thompson shoots 40%, 44% from the field. Klay Thompson's ability to shoot alongside Steph Curry literally became the most unguardable force, in which they literally said shooters could never win an NBA championship. Small guys could never win NBA championships. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson shot their way to an NBA championship. Like, they broke the mold. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, more Steph Curry than Klay Thompson. That's why I think Klay Thompson is number 2. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry changed the way the NBA has played today. Today, they changed it. The NBA is a 3-and-D league now because of Steph Curry. They will tell you it's the nerds and threes more than two, but people now believe threes more than two on a basketball court because of Steph Curry. He literally changed the way everyone plays the game from every level of basketball. Every level of basketball is changed because of Steph Curry, followed by Klay Thompson. The fact that they put Reggie Miller ahead of him, okay. I think Klay Thompson's a better shooter than Ray Allen. I know he's a better shooter than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a scorer. The fact that Kevin Durant for his career shoots 50% is kind of wild, by the way. Kevin Durant is almost a 50, 40, 90, 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 88%. So 50, 40, 90. That's crazy. That is utterly insane that Kevin Durant's scoring efficiency at 50, 40, 90. Of everybody in the top 10, Kevin Durant is the only one that is close to 50, 40, 90. Steph Curry's 47%. But 42% as a three-point shooter is also bananas. Yes, Smirk, we already talked about the Padres. We called it the TEASE. You missed it. We talked about the ownership. We talked about a lot about the Padres. We went on for the Padres about 30 minutes. Rewind the show, big fella. Rewind the show. You'll get it. You can comment too. People will still argue with you. So yeah. But the list that got under my skin. The list that got under my skin was their top 99 defenders of all time. This got me really pissed. And it got me really pissed. And I don't know if we're going to start at number 10. Because the person at number 10, I don't think belongs in the top 20. I don't think the person at number 10 deserves to be at number 10. Hold on, let me cuz I'm going to start at number 10. At number 10 of best defenders of all time, Bleacher Report had Draymond Green. Bleacher Report has Draymond Green as a top 10 defender of all time. That's better than, and I'm going to go backwards for a little bit. That's better than David Robinson. That's better than Kawhi Leonard. That's better than Dwight Howard. That's better than Gary Payton. That's better than Michael fucking Jordan. So you're going to tell me that Draymond Green is a better defender than Michael Jordan, than Gary Payton, Dwight Howard, Kawhi Leonard, and David Robinson. And this is before you get into statistics about Defensive Player of the Year awards and all these other things, which he only has one of, by the way. Kawhi's got 2 Defensive Player of the Years. Dwight's got 3. Gary Payton's got 1, and we know Jordan's got 1. But Jordan got 10 top 10 finishes as Defensive Player of the Year. And as we continue to scroll down this list, Rudy Gobert, Scottie Pippen is number 8, which I totally agree with. He's top 10. Dennis Rodman should be number 1. Now, I'll show you number 1. It's Dikembe is 6. Ben Wallace is 5. Hakeem's 4. Tim Duncan, number 3 was Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett's 3. Tim Duncan's number 2. And Bill Russell's number 1. So, That I find fault at this list in a couple of places. But the number one place I find fault at this list. What is that? What? The number one place I find fault at this list is Draymond at 10. The number two place I find fault at this list is Dennis Rodman at number 7. Dennis Rodman at number 7 on this list feels criminal, man. It really feels like they're devaluing what Dennis Rodman was able to do in the NBA. Dennis Rodman is the greatest defender in the history of the NBA. Dennis Rodman is the same person who was out here defending Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. Nobody else was doing that. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Uh-oh. Ping pong. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? Oh, this show's tanking. Uh-oh, hold on. My bad, y'all. Okay, I think we back. All right. If y'all are just joining the show, I told y'all I had some computer problems. I told you. Okay, so if y'all can hear me, I couldn't hear me. I couldn't see me. So therefore, my bad. I told y'all before, I'm having some computer issues. So every month, I have either an issue with an update on my computer. By the way, this desktop's 5 years old. It's a Mac. It should be fine. It constantly isn't. So either there's always an update on the computer or there's an update on the Chrome. And those two crossing every other week is like destroying the memory I have on this computer. So the nosedive you just saw the computer take, or maybe you didn't see it, when the nosedive this thing just took, whatever. But that's why I blacked out. I guess we'll call I blacked out. Oh. But yeah, man, the BR list. The BR's list is BS, bruh. There ain't nowhere in the world Dennis Rodman is the 7th best defender in NBA history. And I love Bill Russell for everything he did for the game of basketball, but Bill Russell is not the number one defender of all time. He's just not. When they talk about how Michael Jordan played against plumbers, Bill Russell literally played against plumbers. Yeah, I may have to look at changing this computer. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that because that's a massive purchase because I try to get the best. And at the time I bought this thing, it was the best. I'm saying that because Affy's suggestion is the HP Victus is a good gaming computer and great for streaming at a good price. The problem is I don't really like HP. I have to do this show, I have to go through a lot of websites. And the Apple product works 100% when it comes to viruses. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out. I've never had a viral issue at all. I've never had a corruption issue at all with any of my Apple products when it comes to things I use for work. Every Dell, every HP, every Microsoft piece of equipment that I've ever had to use as a standalone equipment for work has been corrupted by something. And so one of the things I've always said, when I do business for myself, I will only work in Apple products because of that reason. But the other side of that is they update everything every fucking 3 weeks, it feels like. So now I'm stuck with this. I'll figure it out. Just like I just jumped out, came right back in. But yeah, man, the BR list is terrible. Took some of my anger out of it because the computer died. So now I start talking about the stupid ass computer. But nonetheless, Tim Duncan being 2, KG being like Dennis Rodman is a better defender than Kevin Garnett. He's got more championships because of it. He's got more. Dennis Rodman has cemented himself in more ways on the defensive end than Kevin Garnett ever has. And I love Kevin Garnett. I'm a massive Kevin Garnett fan. But their other 2 lists, top dunkers, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Dominique Wilkins, Blake Griffin. I'm okay with that top 5. Top 5 shooters, Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, KD, Clay. I think Clay's number 2, but, you can argue up and down this list. If I put Klay Thompson in Reggie Miller's position, you get better numbers. I think Klay Thompson's the better shooter, more distance on his jump shot, can make clutch shots. Reggie Miller couldn't do anything off the dribble either. And Klay Thompson was a better defender, but we're just talking about shooting. I think Klay Thompson is a better shooter than Ray Allen, even though I would put Ray Allen at 3. I think Ray Allen at 3 is a good place for Ray Allen. We talked about KD's unbelievable efficiency of being 50, 40, 90 pretty much for his career, which is staggeringly good. So I think that makes him more of a scorer than it does of a shooter. But the defensive list is terrible, man. Jordan at 15, Kawhi at 12, Draymond at 10 just gives me a headache. It's partially embarrassing. But by the way, another small side conversation. Because of the shed now, I got bugs in here. This thing is a bug zapper. When you see that red light on, it's killing season in here. But as I'm trying to swing at this thing, I'm just knocking shit over. Shout out to everybody who came to the show today. It's a weird way to end the show, man. I'm sorry. A lot went sideways at the end of the show. That's what we're here for, man. Shout out to everybody who listened to the show today. Love and appreciate y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to kill this fly and clean out this cash. Peace.